Good morning. So we are now here at one of the biggest technological conference in Saudi Arabia, and we met again with Ben Goertzel, who is a world-renowned AI researcher and expert, and as well he is founder of SingularityNET, open source decentralized marketplace for AI. Good to see you, Ben.
Yeah, good to see you again. It's been our first visit to Saudi Arabia and a pretty interesting conference.
Oh, really? I thought you have been here before since Sophia got her residency here.
She came here without me. She goes wherever she feels like. But yeah, Sophia is a Saudi citizen, but I haven't become one yet. But it's been interesting to see all the AI and other tech development happening in the country.
Yeah, so can you tell us about your journey and how did you get such combination of blockchain and AI, and why do you think that blockchain is an important technology and great for AI applications?
Yeah, so I've been working on AI since the late 1980s when I got my PhD, which was mathematics, but mathematics oriented toward modeling the mathematics of thinking and cognition. But as soon as you start to think seriously about AI and how powerful it will become and how big the implications are, you start to think about, well, who owns and controls the AI, and what's motivating the AI, what culture and values is it getting, and if you're sort of anarchist or libertarian by proclivity like I am, you start to think, wouldn't it be better if the AI were not owned and controlled by like a single corporation or government or a single powerful person? You start to think, let's make the AI decentralized in its ownership and in its operation. So the AI is sort of a self-organizing network of software processes coming together to emerge its own intelligence, but controlled by the whole network rather than any one party. I started thinking in that direction in the mid-90s, really, but only with the emergence of Ethereum smart contracts did you have the technology to really create in practice a decentralized network of AI. So in a book I wrote in 2001, Creating Internet Intelligence, I described how you'd use distributed processing and strong encryption to make a sort of distributed, secure AI mind. But with Ethereum smart contracts, you could really do it, and so this led to me co-founding with a couple others SingularityNET in 2017, and we built really the first large-scale decentralized blockchain-based AI platform, which is SingularityNET, and then we're building AI applications serving decentralized finance, medicine, supply chain, all sorts of different markets. We're also doing research on AGI, artificial general intelligence, working with the OpenCog AGI platform, and building that out to decentralized general intelligence.
So can you explain to people who are not much aware in AI what is artificial general intelligence and how far away we are from it?
Yeah, so as I think about it, we're in the midst of the first of three AI revolutions. We're in the midst of what I would call the narrow AI revolution, where all sorts of AIs carrying out all sorts of very useful practical functions are being made, but each AI does one little thing, like drive a car or translate language or play a game. An AGI, an artificial general intelligence, one AI can do a whole lot of different things, and also can do things it wasn't programmed or prepared for. It just creatively imagines and guesses and figures out how to do new things. And humans can do that, not perfectly, but better than certain AI programs. And I think we're just nearing the beginning of the AGI revolution. We're starting to see some glimmerings of general intelligence in our AIs. And beyond AGI, you're on to what we call ASI, or artificial superintelligence. And that's like, superhuman engineered God minds far beyond the human level. We're clearly not there yet. The challenge now is building narrow AI applications which are beneficial to humanity and are operating in a decentralized way rather than under someone's autocratic control, and then using this decentralized basis for AI as a platform for the transition from narrow AI to AGI, right? And this requires a lot of different kinds of work. So There's work on the application side, just in DeFi, like we're doing with Singularity now, or medicine, like we're doing with Rejuve, which are very SingularityNET application and spin-off projects. There's the core algorithms of thinking, which we're working on in the OpenCog Hyperon project, a project called True AGI. But there's also sort of the blockchain plumbing of it, and that's actually what I'm going to be talking about in my talk here at the Leap event. Because we built the SingularityNET AI platform on top of Ethereum initially because it was there. Right? It was the only platform with smart contracts, and we needed smart contracts to implement this sort of self-organizing AI world computer. Now, we're in the midst of porting SingularityNET platform from the Ethereum platform to the Cardano platform. I mean, we're making it multi-chain, we're not bailing on Ethereum entirely. We're making it multi-chain, but we anticipate in the near future the bulk of development is on Cardano rather than on Ethereum. And Cardano is a really solid blockchain design founded in deep computer science. It has a smart contract language called Plutus, which is a variant of the Haskell programming language. And in many ways, that's more scalable and more secure and easier to work with for sophisticated applications like AI than Ethereum's Solidity language. So Cardano is great, but it's clear even before we complete the Cardano port of SingularityNET that Cardano in its current form isn't quite good enough for what we need. But Cardano it's a moving target, like everything in the blockchain space, right? Things are growing immensely.
But you yesterday mentioned that what you are building is a sidechain, not really.
Yeah. So the first thing, we're in the middle now of porting SingularityNET platform to Cardano main chain, and so that should be done before too long, and that will be good. It'll be an improvement on the Ethereum, but it won't go far enough, right? So what we're working on additionally, and what I'm talking at Leap about on this trip to Saudi, is a project called Hypercycle. And yeah, Hypercycle is a sort of side chain of Cardano. It's a little bit more than a side chain, but you can call it a side chain. It's a Cardano side chain which is specialized for massively scalable, decentralized AI. And Cardano has an interface called Hydra that lets you interface other networks such as side chains with the main chain in a very flexible way. So using the Hydra interface, we can run Cardano's Plutus smart contracts on our own Hypercycle chain, which is specialized for AI. And Hypercycle won't necessarily be the best thing for any possible application you can build, but it will let us scale up AI 100 or 1,000 times better than anything else, and we're throwing a lot of cool things in there. So I'm working with Tufi Saliba and Dan Tolliver from the Toda project, and we're integrating the core math and data structures from their Toda blockchain under the hood in Hypercycle. So we're making their Toda ledgerless blockchain, which uses Merkle trees and the data structures from normal blockchains, but there's no distributed replicated ledger, which makes it much faster. So we have the Toda ledgerless blockchain put together with Cardano's Plutus smart contracts, put together with, for example, the proof of reputation system from SingularityNET, which lets you do consensus by giving more weight to those nodes that have a better reputation for their past history in the network. So we're integrating a bunch of sophisticated features into Hypercycle, which is a new Cardano sidechain that will let decentralized AI operations scale up massively. And it's because of Cardano's really solid computer science-based design that you can take something so sophisticated and so different from Cardano, but yet interface it closely with the Cardano main chain. So this is being a lot of fun. I mean, we're just starting the software development on Hypercycle now after a period of theory and then refining the algorithms. But as you can see, there's a real multi-layer stack needed, right? I mean, you have Cardano main chain, you have Hypercycle specialized for AI, you have SingularityNET platform. On top of SingularityNET platform, you have AI tools like OpenCog. On top of that, you have applications doing things like finance and medicine. And we need to build this whole decentralized tech stack in order to really create distributed AGI that I've been thinking about for so long. But of course, decentralized tech economy also has very deep tech stack with many layers. That's just the way modern technology works.
And is Hypercycle applicable for some AI applications, so as well like any type of decentralized applications can be built on top of it?
Hypercycle is specialized for an application where you want a lot of small microservices, like a swarm of little agents cooperating to do something big. So I mean, if you're, say, a huge bank wanting to do $1 trillion transactions or something, you could use Hypercycle, there's no problem, but there's not any advantage using Cardano main chain, right? But if you're trying to build an AI from an ensemble of 100,000 different little AI agents, each learning and reasoning but cooperating together, then Hypercycle is just going to be much faster than using a traditional blockchain. So there's applications in every vertical market, though. I mean, I think we're looking at DeFi with SingularityNET. We're using machine learning to predict altcoin markets and do trading. But decentralized social networks would be another big application, because you have a lot of different participants in any social network. Each participant needs AI to estimate who they should connect with and build their profile. So that's a decentralized social network, say the next decentralized network that will obsolete Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, and so forth. I mean, this should be built on top of Hypercycle, because there you have a large number of sort of small AI services that need to all cooperate to do something.
And we see now a huge trend of Metaverse and virtual reality. What do you think about it and application of AI?
It's going to be big, yeah. I mean, so we're, within SingularityNET ecosystem, we're engaging in a few projects like that. The biggest of which is the Sophiaverse, which is a Sophia multiverse where humans can enter into the multiverse, but there's also AI characters wandering around in the multiverse, such as avatars of Sophia and Sophia's other sister and brother robots, like Grace, Desdemona, Harmony, and so forth. So human and AI populated metaverse, which can serve as an amazing way for AIs to learn how to interact, actually. Because operating an avatar in the metaverse is easier for the AI than operating a robot body, right? I mean, the AI can walk around and learn and talk to people and do all sorts of things. So I think a metaverse populated by AIs and humans would be an amazing way for AIs to learn what they need to transcend to general intelligence. But of course, there's also all sorts of other business aspects and human and entertainment aspects. So there's going to be a game in the Sophia metaverse, the Sophia's Age of Singularities, and we're working a bunch on AI-generated NFTs, making tools for people to work together with AIs to make NFTs that can then be traded.
I remember there was NFT, the portrait of Marcello.
Oh yeah. That's right. So that was a combination of two human artists, Andrea Bonichetto and David Hansen, together with Sophia the robot using her arms, and together with some neural net algorithms morphing the pictures. Those artworks were an example of a human AI sort of hybrid creative process, but we want to democratize that and open it to everyone. So anyone using the Sophia metaverse can work together with AIs to create NFTs, and then they can offer them. They can use it to decorate their space in the metaverse, or they can offer them for sale in the metaverse. So I think there's a lot of promise there in a lot of different ways, and I think getting augmented reality together with virtual reality into this sort of AR, VR metaverse is going to be quite important technology for the future. And the beauty of AI, though, is that it applies to everything, right? I mean, you get AI in metaverse, social networks, DeFi, you have AI in supply chain, you have AI in self-driving vehicles and drones. And what we can do with something like SingularityNET running on Hypercycle, we can network together all the different AIs serving different vertical markets into like one massive global AI brain. And that's where the AGI will pop out of, right? And the promise of this decentralized approach, I think, is as narrow AI transitions to AGI, it's interacting with so many different people and understanding so many different goals from interacting with different people in different contexts. It's really absorbing a holistic picture of human values and culture, which I think is what you want the AGI mind to have.
Yeah, I agree with you. And can you share some more upcoming plans for Singularity?
Well, SingularityNET, I think, we have big plans, obviously, and one thing I liked about Cardano is Charles Hoskinson has become a good friend. I mean, he really wants to see Cardano become like the blockchain operating system of the whole global economy, right? And so our aspiration with SingularityNet is similar. We want to see that become the AI operating system of the global economy. So this means that we need SingularityNet and Cardano to become at least as prevalent as, say, Linux, right? Where it's used in all sorts of devices and all sorts of vertical markets. And of course, we need to get there step by step. And we're not going to do it all on our own. So the final thing that I should tell everyone about, we have an accelerator program within SingularityNet, which is called Deep Funding, Decentralized Ecosystem Project Funding. And we're giving a host of different grants of AGIX tokens to community members who are building cool projects on top of SingularityNet platform. And this is totally democratic and community driven. So community members will vote on which proposals made by community members should receive the tokens. And we're looking here to go beyond the host of cool projects that we're building within SingularityNet Foundation and give grants to a whole bunch of community members to build projects in vertical markets that we've never thought about or even heard of, because we'll need a great abundance of different apps addressing different applications to really take over the world economy with decentralized AI as we're aspiring to.
Yeah, that's the main thing, to democratize access to this industry for everybody. Thank you for such insightful conversation.
Yeah, thank you. And it's fascinating to be here in Saudi Arabia and see so much local talent in AI and blockchain, and so much enthusiasm for the kinds of things we're doing in Singularity. So I think the global enthusiasm for democratizing AI is actually makes me optimistic that we can actually get there.
Yeah, maybe we'll meet next time again in Saudi Arabia and see your deeper collaboration with the government corporations here.
Let's hope so.